Could you please confirm that you could see my screen as well and hear me all okay? Because I'm seeing some chats that people are not able to hear me well. Just wanted to confirm that.
Able to hear Vignesh. Thank you.
So, thank you. Alrighty, let me bring up my slide. Okay, perfect. So today our session is going to be on introduction to Microsoft 365 bookings and how to use this bookings app in MS Teams, right? So if you are someone who hasn't explored this app for quite some time, I'm pretty sure after our session today, you certainly will start spending your time in this app. Right, let's move on. So about myself, so my name is Vignesh Ganeshan, and I work as a technical specialist for the modern workplace solution area at Microsoft. So I'm a blogger. I have my own blog site. Then I speak in. Then I also blog for European SharePoint community and other blog sites. I've spoken on a plethora of webinars and user conferences and user groups. So I'm the chapter lead for C Sharp Corner Bangalore chapter, and I'm also an AOS ambassador for the AOS community. Over the period of time, I've done almost 15 plus Microsoft certifications. The count is going to be close to 20 now, I suppose. And I'm the organizer of the Microsoft 365 and Power Platform user group in India. So over to you, Vijay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Vijay, and I'm working as a modern workplace architect in Cognizant. And also, I'm a Microsoft MVP, and I'm a blogger, speaker, and also I'm a co-organizer of Microsoft 365 and Power Platform user group.
Thank you. Okay, so what do we have today for you? So this is our agenda today. We'll begin by talking about what is Microsoft Bookings. I'm pretty sure most of you folks who have joined the session today might have at least have a basic amount of understanding of what Bookings is all about. If not, no problem. We are gonna make sure that you folks understand this application end to end. Then we'll be talking about how to set up bookings by doing a deep dive demo. So Vijay is gonna do a deep dive demo on bookings, how to use bookings in the web, how to set up bookings, and how to you play around with that in the mobile app. And also he's also going to do a demo on using the booking app and how to have virtual visits in Microsoft Teams. And then finally we'll end our session talking about the licensing of booking apps and also the APIs that is available, right? Because anytime a new feature or product comes up in the Office 365 family, the biggest question which comes from my customers is, so what is the licensing for that? How does it work? Is it already part of my licensing, or should I buy something extra? So we are going to help you clarify all those things in this session. So bookings, to put it very simple, so to put it in layman terms, this is an app which is part of your Office 365 family, right? So it is basically used for you to use it as a booking application, right? Now, say for instance, most of the apps that you see in the Office 365 family, be it your Teams, Exchange, SharePoint, OneDrive, Power Automate, and all these have a specific purpose, right? It is part of the family because they are there to solve a certain business problem. So when it comes to bookings, this is something which organizations can leverage for getting their customers booking, or you can also integrate that with your Facebook page. This can be a public facing site so that you don't need to build a public facing booking website for your customers to book an appointment with you. This particular app is going to take care of things. So if at all if any of your customers have come up with such sort of a need, or maybe your own company which you're working for has a similar kind of a need, then this app will be a perfect fit for that. And as we talk further and as you see a demo, you'll gain more knowledge about what this is, what are the use cases for this, and where exactly this would fit in. So what is bookings? As I said earlier, it is nothing but it is an app which is gonna help you to manage your online appointments. And we see a lot of focus towards this application on small business. Having said that, it doesn't mean that we do not encourage large scale enterprises to use it. It's just that a lot of small scale customers show focus towards it. When I say small scale customers, you could be someone, customers who are running like spas, right, or maybe saloons, right, and maybe a small company, right. So things of that sort, wherein there are hardly 10 to 15 people or 20 people or 30 people at the max, right. And they want to have a public facing site where people can book appointments, and then they can have all those kind of things. So that is where we are seeing a lot of focus towards this app. Okay, so when it comes to the SKUs, so that is the $1 million question here, right? So what SKUs are this? Where do I get bookings on? So you see this on Microsoft 365 Business Standard and Microsoft 365 Business Premium. If you have a business SKU, you also have it in the Office 365 Education A3 and A5 as well, right? So it doesn't mean that this particular product is only with the business SKU. You also have it in education. And before May this year, this was available as an add-on for Office 365 Enterprise queues. So after May, what we said is even in your E3 and E5 SKU, you can see bookings also. So bookings is already a part of your E3 and E5 SKU as well. So if you're, I believe most of you might be having an enterprise tenant, or maybe your customers are having an enterprise tenant. So if they haven't played around with bookings, maybe now is the time to start looking at it. But please be mindful that you need to be having E3 or E5. This, you won't get this in E1, right? And this product has been around for quite some time. From Feb to 2017 is when it went generally available, and right from then onwards it's been used widely. It just got a lot of attention when we started integrating, when booking as an app was made available to the Teams app store, right? So that you get you get the best of both the world, wherein you have Teams but you also have booking as an app into it, so that you can use the booking app into Teams. So what is the problem that is trying to solve, right? So these are some small business pain points which small scale customers have, and I'm not really going to read it for yourself. Just quickly skim through it, and I'm pretty sure you folks would, sort of agree with what is written there, right? Because for small scale customers, they do not really have a system which customers can come in and schedule appointments and do all those sort of cool things, right? So this is one app which is really going to help them get rid of all their problems. And these are also some key advantages which our customers have seen as they started using booking, right? So customers are delighted with that. It helps them to save a lot of time, right? A lot of time which people have to spend on booking an appointment and getting the addresses and things of all that sort. It really comes handy, so that you don't need to spend too much of time as a business owner. And it also decrease no shows, right? So because when you're scheduling an appointment and for whatever reason you couldn't make it, you can simply go ahead and cancel it and say that what, due to so and so reasons I'm not able to make it. Either I could cancel it or I could reschedule it. So it is really that one single console which can act as a medium between your customer and as the end user. And so these are also some additional advantages. As I already said, it is part of your Office 365 family. And when it comes to the pricing, we are much more competitive as opposed to our competitors. It's quite easy and fast to set up. You will see it for yourself when Vijay is doing the demo, right? So so from the security, privacy, and compliance standpoint, since it is part of Office 365, so all this goodness of the security and privacy and compliance features that we have for the entire Office 365 as a solution is even applicable for this as well, right? And similar to any of our other products, it is closely stitched with other Office 365 products too, so that that integration remains intact. You have that stickiness of the product along with other solutions also. So with that being said, it's enough of me talking. This has to, I mean, we really want to show you a demo. We want to spend a good amount of time in demoing this product. So when we want to show a demo, we are going to talk in the rest, by considering three personas here. One is as a customer, and one is as a small business owner, and as a staff. So how these three personas are integrating, are interacting with this app, and how this can make them, be more productive. So that's what we are going to look at. With that, over to you, Vijay. Thank you.
Sure. Let me know once you're able to see my screen.
Sure.
Are you able to see my screen?
Not yet. Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay. So thank you, Vignesh, for providing the overview of Microsoft Bookings. So in this demo, first thing what we will do is like we'll see how to enable this bookings at the admin center. And the second thing is we'll go through the web, the bookings web, and we'll see what are the things that we can do it over there. And the next thing is like we'll see how to integrate this bookings app in Microsoft Teams. Okay, and we also have a mobile app available, but due to some reasons like it's not working properly. Okay, so other things I will show one step by step, and we'll see how to enable it and how we can create the calendars and all those things. Okay, as a first step, in order to enable this bookings, so what you have to do is you need to come to the Microsoft 365 admin center, and under settings you can see the org settings, right? So once you go to org settings, you can see a bookings bookings thing, right? So once you click here, you will have the default, you will have the options over here to enable or disable this bookings. Okay, so if you see, this is the checkbox that you want to, in case if you want to enable this one to your complete organization, so you will be checking this checkbox, allow your organization to use bookings, right? And there are two other options available. Okay, when we are creating the booking calendars, when you're creating the booking calendars, we'll show where these options comes actually, right? So there is two options: block social sharing options. So basically, when you want to when you create a booking calendar, and if you want to share that with the users or customers, you can share it via Facebook also as a public page. Okay, in case if you don't want to allow that, you can block it over here and require staff approvals. So in this case, like we'll create a staffs. Okay, in that case, when you're adding any staffs, if you want the approvals from the staff. Okay, so when you're creating or when we go through all those things, you will understand what is staff, what is the social sharing options and all those things. So as of now, in case if you want to block it or enable it, this is the place where you come and do it. Okay, and in case, so once you allow your organization to use bookings, okay, it is available to all the users. So anyone can go and create the booking calendar. But uh, but that is always not recommended in some organization, that would not be required, right? So in that case, you want this booking app to be enabled only for a specific set of users, right? So in that case, what you can do is, as a first step, you need to enable this. You need to check this box and enable this to the complete organization. And then as a next step, there is a PowerShell script which you need to execute it in order to make sure this booking is available only to the specific set of users. Okay, so I'm not going to execute the PowerShell script. Basically, for this one, you need to connect to Exchange Online PowerShell, and then you need to just run 2 to 3 lines of script in order to allow only the selected users to create the booking calendars. Okay, so this is the 3 lines of script that you need to execute it, and it is an online Exchange PowerShell script. Okay, so these are the settings that are available. And also when it comes to Microsoft Teams, basically bookings is an app. In case if you want to do any sort of restrictions, then obviously you go to the Teams admin center and you create some policies. How do you want to, like basically the app policies. So based on which the bookings app will be available to all the users, or it can be targeted only to a specific set of users. Okay, so it all depends on how you want to create the policies basically. Okay, so these are all the org level settings or tenant level settings that administrator can enable or disable it. Okay, so after this, I'll just quickly go to this one. So once you go to office.com, right? 1 minute. Where is this? Yeah, once you go to, I have enabled it already for my tenant. So once you go here, you can see something called the bookings app. Okay, so I already opened that one. Where is this? Yeah, bookings app. Okay, so basically bookings app, right? So here you will be creating booking calendars. Okay, so consider it can be any organization. There can be multiple departments. Okay, for each department there might be a need for having a booking calendar. Or take an hospital. Okay, in hospital there might be different divisions or different things, right? Um, uh, so for each one of them, they might need a different booking calendars available. right? So similarly, you can create n number of booking calendars. There is no restriction to create a number of booking calendars over here. Okay, it's all based on your need. You can create it. Okay, so what we are going to focus is consider like we are having a service based company. Okay, service based, providing consulting and providing the services, doing some small projects like a kind of startup project, startup thing. Okay, and also we provide some corporate trainings. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to create a booking calendar for our organization and create the services that we are going to offer. Okay, so what I'll do, instead of talking, I'll just start creating a booking calendar. Okay, I'll just discard this one. So if you see, I already created few booking calendars. That's why you are able to see something here. But in case if you're not created anything, you will just find an option to create a new one. Okay, so if you see here, this is an existing one, but when you click on this down arrow, you can see whether I need to create a new one, new booking calendar, or I can open an existing booking calendar. So if I just click on open, okay, it shows me these are the three booking calendars we have created already. Okay, so based on our organization, we might need to have a number of booking calendars for each department, right? So in that case, we have created three things. Okay, but it is really not required. So what I will do, I'll start from the scratch, creating a new booking calendar for us, our organization. Okay, so it's basically a consulting thing. Okay, so I'm going to create a new booking calendar. So I'll just give a booking calendar. So tell us about your business. So business name, I'll tell it as uh, consulting. Okay, I'll just give us B consulting services or something. Okay. Business type is like you can type whatever you want to add it. So you can put consulting, business consultant, consulting. Yeah, consultants and general services. Or you can put consultants. Trainings, we are providing the corporate trainings also. Okay, just I'll click on continue. What it does is it going to create a new booking calendar. Okay, it takes a few seconds to create that. We'll just wait for that to be created. Okay, so this is how your booking calendar would look like. Okay, so if you see here, if I want to go to any of my booking calendars, I can open it. You can see the other calendars. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'll just first the thing that you need to do is adding the logo to your organization, right? So I'll just click on upload new logo. Go to just quickly go to pictures. I'll just add something like this, okay, and save it. Okay, and next thing is like we need to enter the business information. So what exactly we are going to provide? What is the exact business, right? So if it is an hospital, they will just provide the hospital name, address, and contact numbers and everything. So in our case, it's a consulting service company. So what we are going to do is we are going to provide some inputs around our business, like a business information, right? So we consulting services. Okay, here I'll just add my location. Okay, Maratali, Bengaluru. Okay, so I'll just add that one and the business contact number. Okay, and send the replies to if I have any website address. Okay, so I can just provide the website address. I'll quickly give some address. Okay, just give me a minute. So consider that we have a website URL and Okay, I'm just giving this one. Okay, privacy URL, privacy policy URL. If you have any those kind of things, you can provide it. Okay, currency, I've just put it as USD dollars. And what is our business hours? Okay, so for example, now whatever it is a business hours, put it as 8 to 5. And Saturday also we operate. So till like consider like we will be available till 1 o'clock. Okay, so this is how our business hours would be. Okay, and then we'll click on save. So we have provided all the business information that is required. Okay, so I'm just clicking on save. Okay, once I provide the business information, so basically what we are going to consider, what services that we are going to provide us, initial consulting thing, and then that corporate trainings. Okay, initial consulting in the sense like in case if they have any queries, they just want to book an appointment to provide some to have an initial consulting thing. So that is one service that we are offering, and the second one is we are providing corporate trainings in case if there's someone needs to book an appointment and inquire about what are the trainings that we offer and how much it costs and all those things. They want to book a appointment, so they can book an appointment. So we are going to create two services. So for these services we need staff members. So once the appointment has been booked, who is going to talk or who is going to discuss more on that consulting work or provide information about the trainings, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the staffs basically. Okay, so what I will do, I'll create one or two staffs. Okay, I'll quickly add Vignesh. So what I'm doing is Vignesh. Okay, I'm just giving some color to him. Okay, so basically myself and Vignesh will be providing the initial consulting thing, and there will be two more people who will be taking care of the training part. Okay, so here you have three roles actually. So you administrator role, guest role, and viewer role. So administrator, if you see, administrators can edit all settings, add and remove staff, and create and delete the bookings basically. Okay, so they have complete full control access kind of thing. Viewer, so they can view the bookings and everything, but they cannot modify or delete them. And in case if you there is a case like where you want to add a guest also to be a staff. Okay, for them there is no need of the Office 365 license assigned to them. Okay, consider they can use any of their email IDs and they can just can be added. Okay, so in case if I add it as a guest, they will have very limited access, but they can join the meetings and everything when the appointment has been booked. Okay, so Vignesh, I'm just giving as administrator role. Okay, so here also you have one more option like availability. Okay, so consider like either you can select the default business hours, or you can select whatever timings Vignesh would be available. Consider myself and Vignesh are going to give the consulting. Okay, so Vignesh is available only on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, so you can relate this with any other small businesses also, right? Hotels, like restaurants, or like a what do you call doctor appointments, right? Saloon. Okay, anything that you can take it up. So what I'm doing is first 3 days he will be available. Okay, so I'm just giving it only on Monday to Wednesday. He's available from 8 to 5. Okay, and then notify the staff. So these are all some default options that is available. So once you select everything, you can click on save. Okay, so I'll just edit my access, like I edit my profile. Okay, I'll just give it as green over here, and then I'll just make sure that I'm available on the remaining days. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I'm not available. Only on Thursday, Friday I'm available. Okay, and Friday, Saturday also I'm available from 8 to 1. Okay, so now I have created the staff, I have updated the existing staff, and again, obviously, I will be the administrator since I have created the booking calendar, and I'll quickly add one more staff. Okay, so I'll add Jay Kumar. Okay, I'll just give different color because he's going to take care of trainings, and I'll give him the viewer access. Okay, and he's available on entire throughout the business hours, and I'll click on save. Now what I'm going to do is I want to add one staff who is a guest. Okay, so what I will do, I'll just give my personal email ID. So obviously it will consider, it will take as a guest. Okay. So I'll just give my email ID. Okay, and I'll click on save. Give him a, yeah, pink color. Give on save. Okay, so now what we have done is we have created a few roles. Okay, basically the staffs who will be attending these appointments, right? Who will be taking care of these appointments. So next thing is we need to create the services. Basically, we are consulting services, and as I mentioned, we are going to provide two services. Okay, so I'll just click on services now. Okay, by default, this initial consult is a default service available. Okay, so I'll just edit this one. Initial, I'll put it as initial technical consult. Okay, so grab 60 minutes with us appointment for an appointment to discuss about the Okay, that's fine. Okay. Okay, and then if you see here, you have a default location, our office address. Okay, or we can provide anything else. And also you can see book an add online meeting. Okay, so due to this COVID situation, right, it is obviously a meeting in person for any appointments, it is going to be difficult. So in that case, if you want any virtual appointments to be done, okay, so in that case, what you can do is like you can add online meeting. So what happens is it creates a Teams meeting and send that to the customer. Okay, so here and also default duration. So I'm just giving 1 hour. Okay, so whatever the initial technical consulting, that is going to be 1 hour. Okay, not more than that. If they want to have a follow up, then again they need to book an appointment. Okay, and buffer time your customers can't book. So in case like obviously like when we have these kind of appointments, the appointment might extend it, right, at least for minimum 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or even after like or I want to take at least a 5-10 minutes break after each appointment, right? So in that case I need a buffer time. I don't want to keep continuously all the meetings because one meeting might extend or get delayed. Okay, so I don't want to keep those things. So what I'm giving is I'm just giving a buffer time also. I'm going to give some 10 minutes or 15 minutes buffer time. So once this one meeting gets over, the customers will not be able to book, and after this meeting, like 15 minutes after that only they can book it. Okay, for example, one meeting is getting over by 1 p.m. So the other meeting can be booked at 1:15 p.m. only. Okay, so I just want to have the 10 minutes break or a buffer time for some reasons. Okay, and let customers manage their appointment and it is booked by you or your staff on their behalf. So this can be this is a toggle button. So either you can enable this as yes or no. So if you want your customers to edit or edit the bookings, then obviously they can enable this particular option. Okay, default price. So I'll just put it as a hourly. Okay, so our hourly price for initial consulting, consider like we charge $50. Okay, and notes internal only. So just if you want to add any notes over here, definitely you can add it. Okay, this is will be only for the internal purpose. And then you have some custom fields. What is this fields exactly, right? When you click on modify, you will see. So whenever the customer is booking an appointment, he needs to fill some certain basic information, right? So email address, phone number, customer address, customer name, and all those things. So in case like if you see by default, customer email alone, it's required. In case if you want to make others also required, you can, yes, you can make it. And also if you want to add any more new questions, also you have an option over here, add new question. Okay, so it is depends on what you want to add drop down questions. Okay, so if you want to get more information from the business from the customer when they are submitting, when they are booking an appointment itself, then you can add more questions over here. Okay, so this is one thing. So scrolling down, like if you see, you can set up the reminders and confirmations once the appointment has been booked. Okay, so you need to send multiple reminder emails, right? Obviously, like before 1 hour, before one day. So like that, you can have the reminder emails. So I'm just add before 1 hour or 30 minutes. I just need to be in. Okay, and this reminder should be sent to the customer or the staff or all the attendees. right? Whomever the attendees are. So I'll put it as all attendees and I'll click on save. So if you want to add any reminder message, you can add it. Otherwise, click on save. Okay, additional information for email confirmation, so if you want that, and also you have an option to enable the text message notification for your customers. Okay, again, this is in the preview feature. Okay, there is no cost at currently. Now there is no additional cost, but going forward there might be a limitations, or there might be a limit on the number of free SMS messages for each month. Okay, as of now it is in the preview feature. Okay, I'm just giving it as a okay, and show the service on the booking page. Okay, so as of now I have selected this. By default it has been selected. I will tell what is a booking page. Okay, I'll when we are creating the booking page, I'll tell you what is this option is about. Online scheduling meetings, so use the default scheduling policy. So this is the policies. Okay, so all these things are like a online scheduling policy. So time increments, minimum lead time. So before, like for example, I don't want to allow the customers book a meeting on the same day. Okay, at least there should be a lead time 24 hours or 48 hours, or at least 3 days before they need to book an appointment, or maximum lead time. Okay, so there are certain scheduling policies available. As of now, I have selected the default scheduling policy. Okay, in case for each service, you might need to have a different scheduling policy. You can change it, you can uncheck it, and you can customize it. As of now, I'm just leaving the default scheduling policy, and also I will tell you where you can update this default scheduling policy later. Okay, so in this case, I'm just going to use the default scheduling policy. I'm not going to change any values over here. Okay, so these are the options that are available, and I can assign the staffs over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, as I mentioned, this technical consulting thing is going to be taken care by Vignesh and myself. Okay, and then I will click on save. Okay, so if you see here now, I've created a service called Initial Technical Consult, and the minimum duration is 1 hour. Default price is 50 per hour, and payment. So this payment things are still it's not available where you can do the payment when you're booking itself. Okay, but it's currently I think it's in roadmap I think. Okay, and the assigned staff. So these two are Vignesh and Vijay are the assigned staff for this one. So what I will do, I'll quickly create one more service called training service. Okay. I'm not going to give any description, default location. Okay. This is also going to be an online meeting. And again, this is for 1 hour and I'm not going to give any buffer. Okay. All the default things I've given it. Okay. And then I'm going to assign a user called Jay Kumar and Vijay. Okay. So I'll click on save here, and the price is also this is going to be free because this is a just an inquiry that they're going to make about to ask questions about what kind of trainings that we provide and what is the rate for that and all those things, right? So I'm just doing this as a free one. I don't want to charge anything for this initial thing inquiry. So I'm just clicking on save. Okay, so now if you see there are two services created and we have assigned the staffs for them. Okay. Now coming to the next thing, like a booking page. Okay, this is the page where the customers go and do the bookings basically. Okay, so as of now, if you see this booking page has not yet been published. Okay, so booking page access control. So require a Microsoft 365 Office 365 account from my organization to book. It all depends based on how you want to have it. Okay, so here this particular our organization is consulting service and consulting and services, where we need to share this booking page everywhere as a publishing as a public page so that customers can come. We can even add it to the Facebook so that the customers will look into it and book an appointment. Whereas there might be other organizations where they might have a call centers, right? So then that cases, like for example booking a doctor appointment, so you might be calling to the call center and they will be doing the booking. Basically they are called schedulers, so they will schedule the appointment and everything. So being a customer, you just call the customer care and they will be doing. So in that cases they need a Office 365 license. right? So it depends on situation to like a scenario to scenario. So in our case, it's going to be a public. Okay, so I don't want the allow Microsoft 365 Office 365 account in order to book an appointment, because it's going to be in a public and any customer can go and book an appointment. Okay, and disable direct search engine indexing of this booking page, in case if you want to disable this option, where when you are searching it you don't want this page to be available, then you can disable it. Okay, obviously this is a public page which I'm creating now, where I'm going to publish and put it in a public page. So obviously it should be searchable, right? Because it's a our organization is a consulting thing. Okay, so in case if you want to have the customer data usage consent, so you can have this one. Okay, and as I mentioned, the default scheduling policy, when you're creating a service, I have showed you something called scheduling policy. Okay, so when you select the default scheduling policy, you will not be able to modify anything in that particular service. So here is the place where the default scheduling policy is available. Okay, so in case if you want to change anything, you can change it over here. So email notifications. Okay, so all these things, whatever you want to change it, you can change over here. Okay, booking. So in case consider, okay, consider like next week there is a public holiday. Okay, next Friday there is a public holiday. So what I'm doing is I'm just selecting 24th and 24th, and it is on 24th. Okay, I'm making sure that they cannot, no one can book an appointment. Okay, for example, Christmas holidays or something like that, where we might not be working. So what you can do is you can make it as, you can select those dates, availability dates, and put it as not bookable. Okay, so all those things you can do it over here. So I've just done that. Okay, and what else settings is available? So customizing your page. Okay, in case if you want to change this color themes or whatever you want to do, you can do it. Okay, and region and time zone settings also you can select. Always show time zones in business time zones. Okay, so once everything has been done, what I can do is now I can save and publish this one. Okay, so I'm just going to click save and publish. Now what you can do is you can connect. So you see here, connect to Facebook, add a book now button to your Facebook page. So in case if your company is having a Facebook page, you can just add a button over there telling book now, right? So I'm not going to do this one. And also if you see, there is a link which can be shared anywhere, right? So I'll just copy this link. Okay, so if you just open this published page, this is how it is going to be looking to the customer. Okay, so we consulting services, these are the services that has been offered, and select time and all those things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to book, being a customer, I'm going to book an appointment. Okay, so I'm just going to a different window. Okay, so yeah, I'll just click on, sorry, I'll copy this URL. Okay, so I am a customer. Okay, I just want to book an appointment for the initial technical consult. Okay, so what I will do, I'll select this particular service. Okay, and you can see with whom you want, select staff. This is again optional, but you can select also. So if you see here, Vignesh and Vijayanand. Okay, so for example, I want to book an appointment on Monday. Okay, so as you are aware, Vignesh is available on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm not available on that specific day. So it clearly mentions it's I'm not available. Okay, so also Friday, if you see, we have selected Friday as an holiday where we cannot, the users cannot book anything. So if you see, you cannot select on Friday. Okay, in case if I want to select Saturday, if you see here, so Vignesh is not available. I am available on that particular day. Okay, so I'll select my name and you can see the timing over here. Okay, so I'll just click on 8:15, add your details. I'll just give my email, personal email address itself. That's optional. These are all optional. Okay. So now I'm just booked this particular appointment. Okay. So you can see all this information in this page, whatever the business information that we have provided, the address, phone number, URL, and all those things will be available in this page. Right. And now I'm booking this appointment. Okay. So I'll just click on book. So I will be receiving which means the customer will receiving a email notification and it books and also it will send the meeting invite. Okay. And the same thing, the staff is myself, Vijay. So I will be getting an appointment details over there. So what I will do first, I'll go to my calendar. Yeah. So if you see, okay, so this has been created. Just give us one. Okay, slow down. You can see here. So if you see here, I got an appointment. Okay. So new booking from Vijayanand, initial technical consult with Vijayanand, and you will be seeing the joint teams meeting also. Okay. So here also you will see this one. Okay. And then if you see, there will be a mail address if you see, right? So this is what the mail address would be. Okay, we consulting services. This is a mailbox. Whenever you create a booking calendar, a mailbox has been created. Okay, this is how it looks like. So in some cases, what will happen is since it generates like this, it might go to junk emails or like a spam kind of thing, right? In case if you want to change the domain name instead of yum365.onmicrosoft.com, if you want to change the domain name, proper domain name, yes, that is also possible. You have a PowerShell script for that. So this is how you need to, just is a one line of PowerShell script. For example, business at the rate domain.onmicrosoft.com needs to be changed at business at domain.com. So you can change that one also. Okay, so whenever you create any booking calendar, a mailbox has been generated from where the mails have been sent or the meeting invites have been sent. Okay. Similarly, if I go to my personal email ID, obviously I have given my personal as a customer, I have given my personal email ID. So I should be getting a invite for that. Okay, obviously to my Gmail ID also I will be getting that invites. Okay, so by this way they can, the appointment has been booked and they can join the live meeting. Okay, and if you go to the staff calendar, basically if you go to the bookings calendar, 1 minute. Okay, if you go to this particular calendar, so this is the booking calendar. Okay, so being an administrator, you will be able to manage all those things. So you can see here all the staff members. Okay, I have added 4 staffs and you can see all those 4 staffs over here, right? And if you select the dates, for example, I have selected on which day, I think Thursday. Yeah, not Thursday, 1 minute. So you can see here the calendar is filled. Okay, and this will be available in my personal calendar also. If I go to my calendar, this is Vijay Anand, I'm the staff and I'm going to my this thing, and you can see here also in my calendar also it gets updated that I have an appointment. Okay, on which date? 25th, I think. Yeah. Okay, so in the booking calendar, it is for the administrators or for schedulers. It is easy for them to manage all the staffs and they can see all the appointments that has been booked. Okay, in case I told you, right, in case if there is a call center who is managing all the bookings, who is managing all the appointments, they are basically the schedulers, okay, or administrators. They can view all those things over here. Who are the staff members and what is the out there. Okay, I will tell you one more scenario. Okay, so I'll go and book one more appointment here. Okay, so if you go here, I have a guest also, right? So in case consider I'm booking a training appointment. Okay, so if you see, I will select this particular person, Anna Vijay. Okay, and then So in this case, okay, what will happen is in the previous case when the staff has been selected, Vijay was selected as a staff, okay, and he in the meeting invite you can see there was a Teams meeting added included. Okay, so for example, here if you see there is a Teams meeting included, but whereas now I have selected guest as the staff. Okay, now I have selected guest as the staff, right? So now I selected Vijay, this one, this person. Okay, where he is a guest. Okay, in this case, what will happen is the Teams meeting invite will not be sent. Just it will block a calendar, but that link will not be available. The reason is he is a staff and he doesn't have the proper license. Okay, he just is a guest, that's it. So in that case the Teams invite will not be sent, so that one we need to consider. So in case if you want to have the Teams meeting, then that person, that staff should have appropriate license. Okay, I'll see whether I got the appointment here. I'm not sure why it's not coming. Might be it went up junk spam email. So you understood, right? So when you are booking an appointment with the guest, you will not have the Microsoft Teams meeting. The reason is that guest is not having the appropriate license for Teams. So you will not be getting that. Just an appointment will be booked and it will be added to their calendars. Okay. So in this case, so in this situations, like when you're booking appointments like this, the Teams meeting, the customer can easily join the Teams meeting and they no need any sort of license or anything like that. I'm talking about the customer who are booking the appointments. They no need any sort of license or they no need Teams license or anything like that. Okay. They can just go and book the appointment and they can join the meetings. Okay, so this is how you manage the Microsoft bookings. Okay, from this particular from the browser. Okay, from the office.com, you can come here. So you have all these things, business information. You can add multiple services. You can manage the staffs. You can publish the booking page, and you can manage the calendar. Okay, and there is one more thing called customers. When you go to the customers, yeah, so what happens is whenever the a customer is booking an appointment, right? They are entering the information. That information will be captured in this particular customer's details. Okay, and in case if you have a certain set of customers with whom you are working, okay, in that case you can even import the customers. Okay, so this is how the booking calendar, this is all the features that are available as part of this booking calendar. So whenever you create a booking calendar, a mailbox is created, and then inside that you have all these options available where you can. So similarly, if I have some other department, some other department, I want to have a new booking calendar for that. Yes, of course, you can create new booking calendar. In case if you want to access any of the existing thing, you can access it. But if in case if you don't have any access to any of these things, it means that you will not be able to access it. For example, this booking calendar is created by me. Okay, and these are the staff members who are part of this particular booking calendar, right? And they you have the roles also. So these guys will not be able to access other booking calendars. Okay, so it is like every booking calendar is having a own certain set of people who have this appropriate permissions or respective permissions. Okay, so these are the things that is available as part of this, and yeah, you can just give it to the customers and they can book it. Or in case if you have a call centers, then you can have the schedulers who can help you out on that. Okay. So coming next, okay, this is like you access this one from office.com. Okay, so you go to the office.com and you can just browse it from here. This is one place. And now next thing is how we can integrate this bookings app in the Teams, right? So obviously nowadays we are using Teams for as a one stop for everything, right? As a like a kind of a for teamwork, right? So obviously there should be a place where we can add this particular app also. So either you can go and add it to any of your existing team, or if you want to add it as a tab, like a personal app kind of thing, you can do it. So I'll just go quickly click on more apps. Okay, and then I'll search for bookings. and I'll add this one and click on add. It takes few seconds to just load it. Okay, you will not have exactly the same thing that you have seen now from the browser. Okay, so certain information will not be available, but this is mainly like a booking calendar. So booking calendar will be available here where you can manage all your bookings or appointments, and you can see it. Yeah, so I will try to change this one. Is that one? Okay, so you can see by default it took some V2 technology solutions because previously I had that one. So here if you see, you can switch to the other booking calendars. Either you can create a new booking calendar from here also, or existing booking calendar. Okay, so existing booking calendar, if you see view all booking calendars in your org, so you can see this is what we created it, right? V Consulting Services. I'll click on it and click on done. So you can see that specific calendar over here. Okay, because there were 4 staffs, and Vijay Jayakumar, Vignesh, and Vijayanand, and same exactly like you can manage. So I think I booked an appointment on 25th. So if you see here, I can see the invite over here. Okay, so I can, even if I want to filter, if in case now I have only 4 staffs, it is easy for me to manage. In case if I have multiple staffs, then I can just do a filter over here. So I just want to have only these 2, Vignesh and Vijay, right? I can do a filtering over here. And in case, like if I want to add a staff also, I can add a staff here. Okay, you can, in that case, if I want to manage the staffs, I can delete it, or I can change the roles, or I can add a new staff also from here. Okay, and also if I want to book a new appointment, so obviously being a scheduler or being an administrator, I want to book a new appointment, I can come here and book a new appointment here, right? So same thing, exactly the same thing. Instead of the customer booking it here, in case if you're having a customer care and they are doing this, so they can use directly the Teams and they can book the appointments. They can just get the information from the customer and they can fill all those details over here. Okay, they can schedule it basically. Okay, so attendee name, attendee email, attendee phone number, and all those things. Okay, and you can add the staff over here, and yeah, and also you can provide a note. Okay, whatever that it is, that discussion is going to be, right? So you can provide some notes to that. Okay, so this is how you can book an appointment. In case if you don't want the customers to book it, and if you want the you have a schedulers to book everything, then you can just directly come to Teams and do it. So for that, they should have the appropriate license and everything, right? And also like you have one few more settings here. Okay, so business details, like in case if you want to change the business details, okay, you can change it here, phone numbers, business type, and all those things, and appointment types also. In case if you want to create a new service, okay, basically called appointment type, you can create it. Okay, but here the things will be little bit different. Whereas in the browser, if you see, there would have been a lot of options, but here you just have a title and confirmation message, right? So if you give demo, okay, add a reminder, yes. But whereas when you're accessing the same bookings from the browser, there were a lot of other options, but in Teams app, there are only certain limited options are available. So you can update the business details, you can add the appointment types, and you can manage the staff from here. And you can book the new booking, and also you can filter the staffs. Okay, and in case if you want to create a new booking calendar, yes, you have an option, but whatever you have seen there, you in the browser, you will not see all those options over here. Very limited options, like what is the business name, type, send attendee responses to business phone number, and you can save it. Okay, so it's basically like a you can integrate with the Teams and you can manage your booking calendar from here. Okay, it is especially useful for the schedulers to manage the calendars basically for all the staffs. Okay, so yeah, that's it from my side. And yeah, mobile also you have the app available. Okay, so due to some reasons I'm not able to access that. I have some issues with that. Okay, so yeah.
Vijay, you want to talk about the APIs just in case you want to throw some light there?
Actually, yeah, the link is there in the deck,
Fine.
right, Vignesh? We can go through that. Yeah, yeah.
Done. Okay. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So
All
Vignesh,
right.
like if I missed anything, yeah, you can, yeah, anything
Sure.
related to the permissions of, especially the licensing model. Yeah, a little bit. We have already discussed on all those things. Yeah.
Sure. All right. Thank you for the detailed demo, Vijay. So folks, the idea here is simple. As you might have seen in the demo, this is not really a complex app to use or complex app to understand. It's pretty neat and simple. And as you see, it really solves the purpose, right? So what you're currently seeing in the slide is the prerequisites and the licensing which you need for using booking app within Teams, right? So here are two things. The first thing that we were talking about is booking, just the booking app, right? For that, I said it comes along with your Office 365 Business Premium, and then you need to have Office 365, which is all good. That is just for using booking as an app, right? But when you want to use the booking app within Teams, these are the prerequisites and licensing. And if you go through it, it would make a lot more sense because you need to use the booking functionality as well as the team functionality as well. So which is why you would see the licensing also built in that manner. And so as we say, so exchange, please make sure that it is an exchange online mailbox is what you need to use. If your organization hasn't is not using exchange online, then I doubt whether you would start getting those emails for all those appointments that you would that the customers or the schedulers are scheduling, right? So this is some useful resources relevant to this session, but now I really want to touch base and showcase about two case studies which we where we have successfully deployed this app in India. So some interesting use cases are we see a lot of usage for this, we see a lot of interest for this in the healthcare. There are many videos which you can go and see in the YouTube, but these are two use cases where I was personally involved when we were deploying this in India. It's one was Fortis, and so Fortis is when I was having a discussion with the customer, and we also had this deployed with the HCG as well. So if you're in talks with developing, or if you're looking for a similar kind of solution for any of your healthcare customers, or manufacturing, or schools, or anything of that sort, we have a good reference story. You can go ahead and read through it about how the entire deployment has done and how the customer was benefited from this. And this has the entire details. So I would really recommend for you folks to go ahead and spend some time here, because at least in healthcare we are seeing a lot of focus towards this application. Right. So with that, we are at end of our session, right? So if there are any questions, or if there is any queries that you have, any questions, any doubts, anything around the licensing, now would be the time for you folks to unmute yourself and ask the questions. And you can also put it on the chat as well. Thank you all for your time.
So, Vignesh,